Hi, it's Helen Tarrant. The lease is the second thing that I look at. Now, the lease is one of the most important documents because that is the document you are taking over when you buy the property. So when you buy the property, what you get is the lease that comes along with the property, and you need to make sure that the lease is adhered to by the tenant. So I check the start date of the lease, I check the rental increases. So how much rental increase do I get per year? I project the rent forward to the current date, taking into account of all the rental increase. So if it's a 10-year lease and I'm in the middle of it, I'm buying in at year 5, I want to be calculating the rental increases to make sure that I'm matching. And then I can go and get some paperwork from the vendor to say, show me the income coming from the rent so I can match up to make sure that rental increase has been applied. And then what I also do is I project the rent forward. So what's going to happen the next 5 years? Because for the best of my guesstimate, I want to know how much income I'm getting out of this property, how much potential growth I'm going to get out of this property. And we're going to work through that with our case study today. So if your lease started in 2014 and it's $45,000 a year for 3 years with a 3% increase on the 1st of July each year, which is stated by the start date of the lease, then you need to project that forward. So times 1.03, the 3rd year. So this way you can confirm that rent with the agent. Check for amendments to the lease. So is there any amendments that is going to affect you? So clauses in the lease can be changed during the lease depending on what the vendor changes the circumstance of the vendor or the tenant. So just a quick showing of just this generally. This property I bought for my parents in their SMSF last year. So this property itself is just AMP in there. So this is a property in Caloundra, and it's divided into 2. So it's got we've got a physio on one side, and we had AMP's financial planner on the other side. It's in Minchinton Street, and most of you would probably know the building. So this property is just for this section of the AMP area. So what I'm looking for is this is the original lease, and when you can see here, they've got the schedule of the lease of what it was, and the rental increases each year, and how it was calculated because at the time it was rental, it was a vacant property. And then we've got some amendments. Now the amendments look exactly the same. The only difference is that the change in rent. See, the rent has actually gone down from when they first got into the premise to currently. Now I would want to find out why that's the case. I want to find out what's affected that, whether it's going to continue to go down or whether it's going to stay stable. Now for that particular property in Caloundra, it's because of developments in Pelican Waters that's affected it. And that, in comparison, it's already at the bottom of the rent. So, but as part of your due diligence, this is one of the important things to look at.